This video isn't for everyone, it is for those who can resonate with what I'm about to share. If such a message offends you, you can ignore it, don't watch the video because it will be open with no filter. Understanding sexuality. Has any professor or teacher ever delivered lecture on it in front of you? Sexuality is an essential aspect of life, yet if you don't understand it clearly, it can potentially lead to destructive consequences. Sometimes our own mind seems to act against us. Our thoughts tempt us into doing things that are immoral or indecent. Those who can control these impulses are truly warriors. We are now living in a world where sex is at the center of everything. Movies, music, advertisements, relationships, and more. The trend has shifted dramatically. Just 300 years ago, sex was often considered taboo, something rarely discussed openly. But with the demand for personal freedom, societal attitudes have changed drastically. Today, sleeping with the opposite gender before marriage has become increasingly common. It is no longer shocking in many places, it is the norm. If you are unaware about these realities, simply visit any tier 1 city and you will see this firsthand. Historically, religion imposed restrictions on sexual behavior. People adhered to these rules out of a fear of God, maintaining boundaries. But with the rise of secularism, the fear of divine consequences has faded for many. As some claim that God is dead, new societal norms have emerged, encouraging casual hookups and more permissive attitude toward sex. This generation, often labeled Gen Z, views these interactions through a different lens. A young man may say, "She is just my friend," and a young woman may echo, "He is just my friend." But when these inexperienced individuals enter into relationships, desires arise that pull them deeper into the realm of sexuality. Talking about sexuality in detail is a discussion for another day. For now, recognize this: the focus on sex is intensifying in our society. Sexuality, when not understood and controlled, can destroy lives. It is addictive, and addiction is always dangerous. People often claim that there is pleasure in it. But every time you satisfy your limbic system, the part of your brain responsible for pleasure, it creates an illusion of contentment. The false sense of satisfaction breeds complacency, and complacency is the root of failure. I have watched interviews of some of the most successful individuals who are changing the world today. They never prioritized pleasing their limbic system. They understood that true fulfillment comes from discipline and purpose. Now, I'm not saying to completely avoid sexual activity, because tomorrow you will have to get married. Instead, I encourage you to learn how to use this aspect of life as a tool. As this trend is intensifying in our society, it is important to examine its impact. It harms youngsters, as they often lack awareness and are naturally curious about knowing things that haven't yet explored. Movies, music, and other media can lead them down to dangerous paths, resulting in addiction. Once addicted, it wastes their time and lives. Temptation begins to control their thoughts, actions, and overall existence. It can give rise to rapists in society. Some individuals may begin to objectify women, seeing them with ill intentions, manipulating, and ultimately using their body for their lust. It destroys pure and pious relationships. Most importantly, it impacts health, both mentally and physically. Let me answer two important questions for you. Question 1. Is sexual act hazardous to life? Anything that harms your mind, soul, and body is hazardous to life because it destroys you. So ask yourself, does it do the same to you? Engaging in sex before marriage can destroy your married life. If you have once been involved in it, it can become an addiction. Your spouse might hate it, leading to fights and unhappiness. I have seen dudes who are addicted to it, and their marriage life is going to be the worst. So, gain wisdom, become rich, get married. Question 2. How can one overcome such distracting thoughts? Have a purpose. Let me use my own example. My purpose is to impact the world. I know that if I get addicted to sexuality, I will waste my time, harm my health, and turn me into someone I don't want to be. I could become addicted, and that would stop me from fulfilling my purpose. In the end, we all die. So why waste precious time and energy on something that takes me away from what really matters? The lesson is simple. If you are still unmarried, take risks and focus on growth. This time you can do anything. Don't waste your time on such activities. Build a community of strong people, like-minded people. Consume the right content. Pursue your purpose. Find a good spouse and grow together. People who don't contribute anything to the society deserve to get mocked. Such people make society weak and negatively influence people, such as celebrities, singers, dancers. Now some brainwashed individuals may argue that it relieves pressure and anxiety, but that is just your limbic system being temporarily satisfied. It only lasts a few hours. Stop chasing fleeting happiness in your limbic system. Work on your dreams, get rich, get married, have a bunch of kids if you are rich, take care of your family, be disciplined. Let's impact the world together. So gentlemen, I have something important to share. Listen carefully. My question to you is, what is your goal? Most people walk through life without knowing their destination. If you don't know what your goal is, how can you focus on your work? Get a pen and paper and write down what your life will look like in 5 years. Break down each year into small, manageable goals and build on them consistently. When you follow these small goals with honesty and discipline, you will find after 5 years, you have built your own Great Wall of China. Control your lust. You will realize how boring 90% of the women around you are. It is time to create your future, so make it the best.